Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing the next 3 stages of the Fanhome release of Build the Power Rangers Megazord. So if you remember in the last pack we were finishing it up doing Sabertooth here. I haven't actually looked at these, so I don't know if we're going to be continuing with that. You will have to check if this collection is available in your territory. Now I'll put a link in the video description, and there's also that QR code on the screen. It's only 3 stages today, and then from the next pack I believe it goes up to 6 stages. I think that's right, but we'll see when that comes. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So, starting with stage 6. Here's the instructions, and as you can see, we are continuing Sabertooth here. So we're going to be putting all of these parts together. So at the end, that is how it's looking. And this is the rest of the magazine. Once again, every stage does come with its own magazine here. Okay, and this is what all the parts look like. As you see, we have a control board here by what looks like an infrared scanner there. So it should be able to operate through the remote control, this one. Okay, so if we bring over what we had in the last pack, which was this side. Now, obviously, we had done this side already, and we had put an eye in here. We're going to be putting the eye just into this side. And that eye, again, looks just like this. It's going to fit just over this section like that there. Probably best on the top camera, so it's in there like that. And I'm holding that in with a PWM screw. Now, all the screws, once again, are in a pack here. And they're all mixed up together. So the PWM screws are the silver flange screws here. Going into metal, bit of oil, and screw this in. Now I'm glad I put the outer earpiece in the last pack because it never asked us to do it, but on this one, as you can see here, they are telling us to put that in. So this is just going to go into the earpiece here, and make sure that that's pushed all the way in there so it's coming out back like that. Now we're working on stuff that comes from this pack, so I need this part first, and I'm going to be putting that over these lugs just here. So we've got 3 lugs actually, so we're just lining that up to all 3 of those there. You can see that on the top camera, and I'm holding them in once again with the silver flanged PWM screws. So one there, one here, and finally just one at the back there. So once that's in, I can put that to one side. And I'm going to be bringing out what we created again in the last pack here, which has this wire out because I'm about to mount this circuit board with the IR sensor in it. It's going to be going in this way, so the 2 holes are over this section here. This time I'm going to be putting them in with PWB screws. They're the black screws that are flanged here. Don't need oil this time because we're just going into plastic. So one there, and one here. Now, the wire that we've got coming out of this is actually going to go into that small plug on the left there. So just pushing that, making sure that's clipped in all the way there. Then I'm bringing over this side, and this wire here, which is a blue, black and red wire, is going to go through the hole at the bottom. So it comes out here. Then I'm plugging that into the plug socket just here. Get that in. Perfect. So both of the plugs are now in that side. Now, the way we're going to connect these together is this jaw section here. We've got 2 holes just there. They're going to go into the 2 lugs just here. So I'm going to line them up. Probably best on the top camera and get them pushed in. Now you can see why I moved this wire out the way. Now I can pull that back through now so that it's sitting out the back and it's hidden from most of Sabertooth, as you can see. I am going to be doing the same with the red wire here. So most of the wire is at the back here, so from the front you're not really seeing much of the wire. Just put that to one side, and I've got a couple of other bits now from this pack that I'm going to put together. What I'm going to do is turn this over. I'm going to be attaching this bit over the top, just like that. That's going to make one section here. Just needs to be pushed in so it clips in perfectly like that. Now it is saying put a drop of glue on each post there, but as you see, that actually clips in. That isn't coming out, so I'm not going to glue that. I try not to glue if I don't really need to. Going to check this one because they're asking for glue for this one as well, which is basically going to be going into the panel there. And once again, perhaps a little bit of glue for this one. And I'm talking about the tiniest amount just at the bottom there. There is a kind of little lip on this black section. We want that facing upwards. So when I put this in, it's going to fit in just like that. Now on each side of this, I've got some rubber grommets. Let's get them out. They're going to slip over each side. So one that side and one that side. And then that means I've got 3 parts here. And that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 7, here's the magazine. Look, loads of tiny bits in this one. We're going to actually now be piecing all of these parts together, putting the top on, and then it looks like we've got lots of details that we're going to be putting in to look like that, mainly the saber teeth. So that's how it's going to look at the end. And again, here is the rest of the magazine. Okay, get this open. I think I'll keep everything in the bag here because there is a lot of details in here. Okay, so first thing I need is this base, and I also need this rubber bush here, which I'm going to get out with my tweezers, looking like this. And this is just going to be fitting into that section like that there. Now, I also need this section here, which is the nose, believe it or not. Bringing over what we created last time, which is now looking like this. I'm going to put the nose into place first, which is going to fit in the indent just here. And it's very clever how it works, because basically the IR sensor is in the nose. Look at that, that's very clever. The section that I made with the rubber grommet in is going to go into the back here, but it's going to go this way round. So now we can see that black bush from the back. The bottom of the jaw that we had is now going to go into that big circle just here. And I'm pushing that down. So now that's in like that. God, you're going to need about 10 pairs of hands for this. And then we're going to close that off by putting the other side in, but making sure that the pins here go in there. This circle goes in the bush, and the back section is going to go in here. So this is going to be a fun one to piece together. Let's see how we get on. So that's all together. I'm just going to put the nose in now. And that's gone in perfectly. So that's how it's looking all the way around. This can still open and close. That's in the back. Oh, that was tricky. Okay, we're going to put that all together with some KB screws. Now, once again, the screws are all mixed up in a bag here. KB screws are these flat-headed black ones here. Like this. They're going to go in the back. That's going to hold all of this together. So I'm just holding that with my finger here, because that is plastic, so there is quite a bit of pressure when I'm screwing this in. One at the bottom here as well. And there we go. That's now held together like that. Now I need to put this top section on here. So for that reason, I've got this section here, which is just going to go over the top like that. And then to keep it in, I've got some PWM screws just going into these at the front here. And these are going to be these silver flange screws in that pack, looking like this. Get them in, and what that's going to do, it's going to hold this nose together at the front here. Using oil on this, because you do want these to be in tight in there. So that's like that. And then to hide those screw holes, I've got this decal here, which just pushes in at the top, like that. Ah, looking good. Okay, put that to one side. We're going to make the Sabertooths now. And what I want to do is take the hinge bracket here. It's got a notch in just like this does, and slip this over the top. So it's looking like that. Now we do want a drop of glue in here to secure this. So I'll just put some glue around the edges there, and I'll get that one in like that. And then I'll do the same on the other side, because obviously there's 2 Sabertooths. Then I've got these silver screws. There's 3 of these in their own bag. These are quite long. These are PM screws, which I'm going to need next. And what I'm going to do is take one of these Sabertooths and put the O-ring just inside that ring there like that. Then I've got this rod, which has got a shaped pattern. This is metal, just so you know. So that's going to go in there and sit flush in there like that. And I'm holding that in with a PM screw here. Get that all the way in. So that looks like that. Don't worry too much about the O-ring at the moment, because we're going to be doing exactly the same thing on the other side now. But what we're going to do is pass this through. Now, the Sabertooth is actually going up in this direction. So when I put this in, this is going to go in this side. And then on this side here, once again, put this tooth in, which goes in this way here. So now, as you can see, they're all facing the same direction. And once again, one of these PM screws to hold that in. Now, when you're gluing those teeth, obviously make sure they are going in the same direction, but the hinges are going in different directions, if that makes sense. So you do get that effect like we've got here. Okay, now I'm covering those screw holes with these fascias here, and these are just going to be a case of putting over the top. Now I'm believing they're probably going to be needing to glue in. Going to be doing. We'll just put some glue around here and get one in this side, and then do the same on the other side here. Just hold that for a little while. On the bottom, just here, we've got some little teeth. So I'm going to want to open the mouth and put these in here. Whoops, without losing them. I'm thinking they might need glue. Let me just put one in and have a look. Oh, no, they do go in quite tight actually. So I'm guessing it's up to you if you want to glue them. But that's those teeth in there. I like that. It looks great. And then just at the bottom here, I've got even smaller ones to go in. And I can tell you now, these ones are going to need glue. So stand by. These ones are very tiny there. As you can see, they're in just like that. And that is pretty much Sabertooth's head completed. That looks excellent. Okay, that's all there is to do in that stage. So in the last stage of this pack, this is stage 8. We've got Sabertooth Tiger's front left leg we're going to put together now. Not too many details here. This is how it's going to look at the end. But we're putting these details together. So that's how it's going to look at the end. And again, this is the rest of the magazine. Perfect. So not as many parts in this last stage. But the first thing I'm going to need is this bracket here. I'm going to put a little spindle in here. Now the spindle is metal, looking like that. It needs to go in with the roundish side, this side here, going into this section here. Now, it is directional, so it can only go in one way. And you do really need to push it in there. As a matter of fact, I might just get my little hammer out just to knock that all the way in there, like that. I'm then going to turn this over like this, and I'm going to be putting this section, you see how we got the shape here, into the same shape that we've got just there. That's going to lock into place, enabling me to put some PB screws into here. Now, all the screws that come in this stage are exactly the same. They're all PB screws. So I want 2 of these into position in the 2 holes you can see there. So one there and one there. Excellent. So put that to one side and bring over these 2 sections now. This red section is just going to be going on top like this, getting this in here so it slots in, and then this is going to hide those screw holes we just put in by going over the top there, but this is secured in from the other side here with a PB screw again, just through the one hole there. All that's left to do then is to hide everything we've got in here by putting this on here, and once again PB screws in the 4 positions to hold that into place. So I'll get all 4 of these screws in. This is the last one going in here. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. So quite impressive, just in 3 stages, having that completed. So there you go. I actually really enjoyed that. That looked great. And to say this is mostly metal, you can imagine how heavy this is. And obviously these move, as you can see, as well as this moving. And having the IR sensor in the nose, brilliant. Now, I think we might be able to test this. So I'm glad we get to test every part as we build this. Make sure they're off. Great build. If you want to get this for yourself, you will have to check. I have put a link in the video description and the QR code on the screen, but I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.